Dear Galina, dear artists, dear friends of Belarus, today our hearts are with Ukraine. The fates of Belarusian and Ukrainian people are strongly interconnected. There will not be a free Belarus without free Ukraine, and vice versa. Therefore, at every meeting where I am invited, I speak about why it's so important to support Belarus, but also Ukraine. And I'm proud to see Belarusians and Ukrainians united at solidarity rallies when I travel around the world. Many Belarusians who fled the repressions in 2020 found a safe place in Ukraine. After the war had started, many stayed there. Belarusians volunteered in hospitals. They helped refugees, internally displaced persons, and simply people in need. Hundreds of Belarusians joined Belarusian battalions and fought Russian aggressions alongside the Ukrainian army. However, I'm still hearing, where are Belarusians? Why don't they protest against the war in Ukraine? Unfortunately, the regime in Belarus has suppressed many prominent voices in 2020. More than 50,000 people had been detained, many tortured. Almost all NGOs in Belarus were forced shut down. Major independent media were designated as extremist. Even subscription to this media was criminalized. Unfortunately, despite all the efforts of the international community and Belarusians themselves, we didn't manage to stop Lukashenko. In December 2021, just before the war has started, Russian tanks entered Belarus on the pretext of military drills. It went unnoticed for many until these tanks crossed the Ukrainian border and advanced in the direction of Bucha and Kiev. I can't say that had democratic Belarus prevailed in 2020, then war wouldn't have happened. But it's evident that without Lukashenko, Putin wouldn't have had such a military advantage. Belarus territory was used to launch missiles and aircraft to bomb peaceful Ukrainian cities day and night. Belarusians were definitely not prepared for this. The fear of repressions was complemented by fear of war. It's hard to imagine street protests now. The repressions are too high. Protests lead to massive arrests, new political prisoners, and immigration. The democratic movement has transformed into an anti-war movement which grows by the day. On February 27, for the first time since 2020, tens of thousands took to the streets across the country to protest against the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Our hacktivists hack government websites, volunteers hand out self-printed newspapers, and initiatives formed by the mothers of soldiers work with military. And we can also claim two achievements. First, our country didn't become a place where the Russian army feels safe. Since February, Belarusian partisans have conducted more than 80 acts of sabotage on the railways. Their bravery helped slow down Russians supplying their troops and transporting weapons through Belarus. Belarusians alerted Ukrainians about missile attacks and Russian bombers flying their way. Second, Belarus army refused to enter Ukraine, despite the attempts to drag it into this war. And it's also the achievement of our people, of mothers, and of course of officers, who refused to follow this criminal order and made all possible this wouldn't happen. Belarusians made their stance clear. They are against the war and the dictator supporting it. In contrast to Russia, there is no public support for the war among Belarusians. You won't see stadiums of people wearing Z or V signs. 86% of Belarusians are against our military involvement in the war. Therefore, it's crucial to understand and explain the difference between the regime and Belarus people. We should avoid situations when those who fight the regime and help Ukraine become isolated or discriminated against because of their passport. Belarus and Belarusians will continue to do our best to help Ukraine win. Ukrainian victory would open the window of opportunity for changes in Belarus, so all political prisoners can get back home and re-elections are held. And I'm sure that Belarus will be on the right side of history. Let me also use this opportunity to ask you to stand by those who refuse to be silenced in Belarus and those who fight so bravely in Ukraine. Thank you.